Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. Finally, we can announce some good news around the goalkeeper situation. I mean, we already knew about one. Yann Sommer is the new Inter #1 goalkeeper, but there's also the #2 goalkeeper potentially coming in, Emil Audero from Sampdoria. But first of all, let's talk about Yann Sommer. We've been thinking that Beppe Marotta has been sleeping like Snoopy this whole transfer market, especially when it comes to the goalkeeper situation. We've talked about Yann Sommer. This was a very boring transfer saga. We knew it was coming, but it took over a month for it to happen. And here he is yesterday. He came to Inter HQ, completed his medicals, signed the contract, did his interview, and here he is looking very happy, 35 years old. I have mixed feelings on the deal. I mean, I like the goalkeeper, but I don't think he's elite. But clearly, Ausilio, Marotta, Inzaghi, they must have liked something about him. And I guess he is the stopgap. You know how it is with Inter these days. It's not great. It's not great, but that's the situation at Inter. Stopgap solutions. And for a stopgap, it's a very good stopgap. But there was one point where when Sommer was talking to Inter TV that I was very interested in, and I think you guys will be in as well, when he was talking about playing out from the back, and he clearly had spoken to Simone Inzaghi about this already. Here's what he said.
I like to play for Inter Milan because, of course, with Simone Inzaghi as a coach, he liked to play from behind. I saw it also last season or in the past years, and that's my style of goalkeeping as well. I like to play. I like to be a good option for the team, and to play against opponents with a lot of pressure. So it's that's what I like.
And there you can see Sommer talking about him liking to play out from the back. He knows that Inter play out from the back. He knows Inzaghi style of play includes that, and he enjoys it as well. But when we look at the stats, and from what I've seen personally, that there's not too much. And also recently I've been speaking to Bayern fans and people that watch Bundesliga a little bit more. They're not really talking to me about him as a ball-playing goalkeeper. And the stats here from Data MB kind of show this. Ignore the blue line for the moment because that's Audero. Let's just compare Onana in the pink-purple and Sommer in the green. You can see where Sommer stands out compared to Onana. Aerial duels, I guess this is kind of coming out and claiming the ball from crosses, etc. like that. He also outperforms Onana in defensive actions, which I don't know what they include in that. I guess it's a variety of things. And then he also outperforms Onana slightly in number of passes. I guess this is probably completed or plus attempted, I guess, which is not a surprise. You know, when you play for Bayern Munich, they dominate possession in the Bundesliga. So whoever the goalkeeper would be for Bayern, I think, would be dominating in that. But at least that shows, you know, he is comfortable with the ball. But here we can start seeing a few differences between Onana and Sommer. Big difference in short percentage, so short passes completed percentage, showing to be a lot lower than Onana, although his long pass percentage is a little bit higher, which is interesting. And he also ranks lower in shot stopping, which was a little bit surprising. I thought they would be pretty matched up there. But again, maybe it's probably because Bayern Munich don't face many shots in the Bundesliga, and whereas Onana, especially if you remember when he first was brought in, he was facing shots a lot. We were struggling defensively. But yeah, long passing percentage, I think that's one underrated aspect of Sommer's game, because I was looking and I posted some clips on my Twitter a few days ago of Sommer at Mönchengladbach, when he played with Thuram, and there was a lot of good examples of him launching the ball quite well into space or directly to Thuram. Again, we knew whoever we signed, it was going to be a downgrade to Onana in terms of ball playing ability. But it seems like Sommer is decent. He'll do the job. Probably around kind of the Handanovic level, maybe slightly higher. Let's see. We'll have to find out. But overall, yeah, mixed feelings about the deal. Cost-wise, yesterday, Calcio e Finanza, which is the financial website I usually use to get my news from in terms of finances, they were saying the figures were a little bit higher, actually, of Sommer's contract. But here today, Daniele Mari, who works for FC Inter News, he says that the 2-year contract has an option for a third, whereas Calcio Finanza was saying it's a 3-year contract. But this sounds a lot better. This sounds like 2 years, option for a third, 2.5 million net a season with growth decree. So Inter will probably play around 3.5 around about that in terms of gross wages per season. The total, the transfer fee that Inter are paying is around 6.5, 6.7, which is a little bit expensive for a 35-year-old. So the yearly cost to Inter on the books will be around 7-8 million, which is quite expensive. But hopefully it's a 2-year deal with an option for a third, because if this guy doesn't perform, we've seen it with these kind of more expensive older players that sometimes like Alexis or Arturo Vidal, like, you end up having to keep them, or you have to pay them to go away with Alexis. So hopefully it doesn't work out to be like that with Sommer. But that's the thing with Sommer. He has to be a hit, or he has to perform straight away. There's no, this goalkeeper needs time to adapt. He's 35 years old. We're paying 6+ million to buy in for this guy. He has to come in straight away, be the number one, and be ready. And there's little room for mistake. Maybe we can allow him at the beginning whilst he's getting used to the team. But really and truly, he needs to come in and perform straight away. That's the thing. When you sign a guy experienced like this, it means he needs to be a straight hit. But the thing is, if he doesn't, in the case that he doesn't, and we need an alternative option, Emil Audero is the guy that looks like will be signed as the number 2 goalkeeper, confirmed here by Romano. Sommer will be the first goalkeeper. Audero will be the second. Trubin will be joining Benfica. As we know, he's not joining us anymore. And yeah, his agent pretty much confirmed that yesterday. As he was coming out, he says the guy he's the agent of Inzaghi, our coach. He's also the agent of Bastoni, so we've got a good relationship with him. He confirmed, first of all, Inzaghi's also renewing, so we were waiting for that. So that's going to be coming up, a 1-year extension. But yeah, he's talked about that. Audero, he didn't reveal the deal there. He just said, yeah, there's serious conversations going on, but it's been reported, yeah, it will be a loan with an option to buy. 26 years old. I know some people were surprised with Audero's age because he's been around Serie A for a while. Juventus youth product. And if you follow me on Twitter, we found out that, this guy was actually a real Juventino growing up, I guess, which is natural when you grow up in an academy. Probably just how things happen. But yeah, still only 26, which is very young for a goalkeeper. He was the captain of Sampdoria last season. So, I mean, if you told me he was going to come in as number 1 goalkeeper, definitely it was a no for me. But as a second goalkeeper, loan, and they're talking about option to buy, set at 6-7 million, which I don't think we will take. I think there's a good deal for a number 2. First of all, experience. Even though he's 26, he's been playing as a number 1 goalkeeper for many years in Serie A. More ready than Filip Stankovic. Recently, I've been warming up to the idea of Filip Stankovic as number 2, but again, guys, this is the ideal situation when the second goalkeeper has to be able to come in cold. Like, remember how Padelli a few years had to come in the Milan derby because Andanovic got injured, and then Padelli wasn't good because you literally come in cold, even though Padelli was experienced back then. But imagine having a performance like what Padelli did for a young Stankovic. You can ruin your keeper career, guys. We've seen what happened with Radu. As much as now it's easy to say, like, Radu is rubbish, we need to get him out. Be true with yourself. Be truthful to yourself. 3-4 years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, when Handanovic was we were seeing the declining phase happening, and Radu had a not very good, but good loan stint with Genoa in Serie A, not at Volendam in Eredivisie B or in Eredivisie. Radu was up and coming. He looked like he was good on the ball as well. Good shot stopper, good reflexes. Be real with yourselves. People were saying, let's try Radu out. How bad can it be? And then we saw one mistake that probably has ruined Radu's career now. Like, I don't think he's ever going to recover from that. So, yeah, these young goalkeepers need time to develop and mature. It's a position where you do peak a little bit later, just like the striker and centre-back positions probably. So, I'm happy for Stankovic. Stankovic, by the way, is probably going to go on loan to Sampdoria as part of this deal. So Audero to Inter, Stankovic to Sampdoria under Andrea Pirlo. Sampdoria look like a proper team now, at least with a proper project, real owners finally, a coach that plays progressive football, young coach, obviously legend of the game, Pirlo. So I think it makes sense for Stankovic to go out there, another loan season, see how he does. Serie B is a tough league as well. I don't know how much makes sense for Sampdoria though. Like, this guy is the captain, Audero. and they're loaning him to us with an option to buy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe his wages were a bit higher for them in Serie B, so maybe they're just saving on wages. And then if they get promoted, he comes back in again as the starter goalkeeper. But yeah, I think it makes sense for Inter, makes sense for Stankovic. Number 2, hopefully doesn't need to be our number 1. I'm not too mad at this. And if you didn't know, it's also Audero actually has roots to Indonesia. He was born in Indonesia, has Indonesian heritage, but he chose to play for Italy, represented Italy throughout the youth academies. He's an Italian, but I think, you know, maybe some Indo Bahasa boys out there, there might be a little, you know, a bit of hype out there in Indonesia about this. Yeah, just a little bonus of this deal, I guess. And quickly on the Trubin, yes, Trubin was definitely my number 1 choice. That's who I wanted to come in. But the deal, if you guys haven't heard about the Trubin deal, so Benfica signing him for 11 million, which, you know, it looks fine. As, you know, like, oh, why didn't Inter sign him? But Shakhtar have inserted a 40% resale clause. So if Benfica sell him in the future, Shakhtar get 40% of that base fee, which is absolutely crazy. That's basically a co-ownership deal. And I'm glad Inter didn't partake in that, because there's no way. I mean, I can understand, you know, 10, 15%. I mean, I think even on FIFA, you can go up to like 20 is the max you can go. These guys somehow got a 40% deal, which is, you know, as I said, co-ownership deals. Remember a few years ago in Italy, you could do this. You could own 50% of a player, and then, you know, you could negotiate whether you want to buy the remaining 50% or not. That doesn't exist anymore, but it looks like Shakhtar are bringing it back. So overall, Sommer, Audero will be Inter's new goalkeepers, plus obviously Di Gennaro as the third. Onana, Handanovic out, Sommer, Audero in. It's probably a slight downgrade. There's no denying that. It's not an ideal situation, but what I do want to see now is the money saved here in the goalkeeper position being invested in the centre-back position and the striker position. Those 2 positions need some either top quality right now or guys that will be top quality in the future at least. But I want to see investments, real investments being made in those positions, because clearly we cheaped out in the goalkeeper position. But overall, I think the level should remain similar. Shot stopping, I'm expecting Sommer to be probably even, you know, make some better saves even than Onana in some stages. But there will be a downgrade in the ball playing ability. Whether Audero is a downgrade or not on Handanovic, we'll find out. Of course, he's if we look at their let's add Audero now into the mix of the chart I was showing earlier. He's the blue. You can see he underperforms the guys in a lot of cases. But on the short passing percentage, he seems to be okay. But then you can see shot stopping, total passes. But, you know, Sampdoria last season weren't a ball playing team. But you can see defensive actions he's doing well, but that's because he is a lot more busy with Sampdoria. Exits as well. So he's a goalkeeper that likes to come out and claim the ball or be, you know, attacking the players, the strikers, which is good to see. Yeah, it's hard to judge a player when he plays for such a bad team like Sampdoria, especially last season. They were absolutely atrocious, but we'll have to find out. We'll see what Audero is made of. But you guys let me know in the comments down below. Sommer plus Audero on new goalkeepers. What do you make of it? Audero's not 100% confirmed yet, but it looks like it will be a done deal. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Ciao ragazzi, always, Forza Inter.